my greatest enjoyment when people ask for a ride along and they go for a non-existent door handle. I can't help myself, but just glad I'm wearing a helmet. They can't see me laughing. But when I'm like, you climb
Ask
in.
me about your car, and like when I tell them, I'm like, dude, it's a like crazy built small block. It's got methanol. The way that I sell it to someone to emphasize how bad it is, I'm like, dude, you ain't met this guy, all right? He's like the weld the door type shut person, and you actually are. That's so funny, dude.
Welcome back to the #1 Drift Podcast on YouTube. I am Dawson.
I'm Nate.
I'm Justin.
Let's get into it. If you don't know him by his face, you'll definitely know him by his car. We'll get into that in a second. But, of course, we got a few announcements. We just hit 10K this week, which is 2 weeks later for you guys. So we'll probably... What do you think we'll be at by the time this video comes out?
We're at 10. We're at
10.5 at the moment of this recording.
So probably 11-ish, something like that. 11.5 maybe. It depends.
I think we can do 12.
Okay. Well, shit.
We're 2 weeks out, so...
Oh, that's right. We are 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 12. I say 12. They're gonna hold.
Do
us
your
to
job.
that.
Hit the subscribe button. If you look down there and it's not hit, press it. But we do have new merch. We'll put that up on the screen. We'll go through it a little bit more at the end of the podcast as well. But Half Price Hot Boy from Kyler Walker's episode. Y'all loved that saying. So that's actually already out right now. But this will be out in 2 weeks. Fucking shit trips me out every time. Oh, well. But for you guys that are watching the YouTube, discount code 15% off, HotBoy15. We'll put that in the description as well. But 10K sub giveaway is coming out, which we announced that in 2 episodes ago. But this is the official announcement. We'll be at Hyperfest hosting a Q&A panel, which that ought to be pretty cool. Apparently, it's the first one ever done at a drift event.
I think that'll be pretty neat. We'll be able to like get up there and talk and meet all these people that hate and love us, and I think it'll be a good time, personally.
We should be working out getting both of our cars down there too, so we should both be driving.
I'm going. I'm fucking going.
Your car's coming no matter what.
Yeah.
But we got some things in the works. But I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit. So what you drive, what you do, all that.
Well, my name's Justin Napier, and everybody knows me driving the Drift Carlo, which is a 1974 Monte Carlo. Most people just go, "What is that?" And honestly, I get it. You know, most people can't look at that car and go, "Hey, that is a 1974 Monte Carlo right there."
I took a double take the first time I saw it on social media. So
I actually really like how proud people are if they guess it right. You know, I get a lot of people like, "That's a Monte Carlo." It's like, yeah. and then
that's awesome.
Yeah, I get that reaction a lot, and so the whole car is just a whole character on its own, really. So
what's the craziest thing someone said to you about it before we get into this?
Oh man, I don't know. I guess, is that a Chevelle lot? Is that an El Camino?
What?
Not an El Camino. My bad.
Hell?
That would be crazy if somebody went up to me and was like, "Is that an El Camino?" I'd be like,
Are you retarded?
I mean, you know, it's got long trunk. I mean, you know, take the trunk off, man. Might be an El Camino, but I don't know. I don't know what the craziest thing is somebody said to me. I guess if you didn't ask me, I'd actually know, you know. But
I have a question, and this is like a personal admiration question. How much resistance were you met with when you told people you wanted to drive a Monte Carlo for drifting?
Well, absolutely none, actually. Like the
Everybody
drifting
was just like, go for it, just fucking do it.
I mean, everybody was like, hell yeah. I mean, not West Cloud, but
I don't mean like, well, because Wes, gotcha, bitch. Like, okay, so the thing about Wes is like, me and Wes are friends, but we are friends on the level of we both just really like to drive. Now, I like to drive because I like to go somewhere and see if I can link the track and have a good time and hang out with my buddies and just play with my toy, right? Wes is
he's
not
on a mission. When he
he's on the grind. He wants to get better. I mean, not that I don't want to get better, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to be a Pro-Am driver. That's what his goal is. So when he talks to you, he's going to say, Monte Carlo is not going to be super competitive. And you're going to be like, well, that's not what I want to hear. But if you talk to me, I would be like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, to clarify, I mean, he was like, yeah, I mean, you're going to have a hard time drifting this thing. and it's gonna take a long time to figure this car out. And I think I'm doing quite well now, but he was right. He was right though.
Yeah, he's huge.
I mean, as much as I hate to say it, he was right. It's a horrible chassis. You can't just go buy an angle kit. You have to make your own.
Well, give us a rundown on the build of the car, like where it sits right now. Then,
Right now it's a small block 350 board. Let's see, 60 over, so it's more like a 360. Forged rods and pistons, some big old dome pistons, big old rowdy cam, high rise intake. It's basically like, I guess, what a drag racer would want to run essentially. But I mean, we built it in our garage, man. After we blew our first motor at Import Alliance, we broke like 7 pistons, and I mean, methanol, man.
I was going to say it's a methanol car, right?
It is methanol, and that's one thing everybody remembers about that car.
What the fuck, Luna? God damn it. This is our first podcast. Come on.
So we'd like to introduce
This is Luna. If you haven't met her, she's fat as fuck.
the Drift Cat.
That's hilarious.
Sorry.
That's funny. The drift cat. I have a cat that'll like get in my drift car. I'll like ride my car.
She never leaves the house. So
That's hilarious.
I love the methanol so much though, because like I was at Clarksville and had Jake Robert parked next to me, and he was like trying to change a tire on his car, and my car's just sitting there idling, and he just looks at me and he's like, I can't see because it burns your eyes so badly.
Yeah, it does.
And I've had
What kind of temperature differences do you see with the methanol? I'm sure it's a lot, right?
Oh gosh, it's terrible when it's cold, man. Dude, at IA it was 100 degrees outside, and my car would not go over 170.
God damn, that's awesome.
Dude, and then I went to Knoxville, the East 10 event, and it was like, I don't know, 40 degrees, 50 degrees, I don't know, like 60 degrees out there.
Couldn't even barely get it started.
I had to run it with my water pump off because I run an electronic water pump. I had to run it with it off just to get eating heat.
Wow. Really?
Dead serious. I had to sit there and just circulate a little bit. Completely left it off for a whole run. Look down, it was like 150 degrees. I'm like, what the fuck? This stuff is pretty cool. I mean, it keeps it cool, man. It just, it takes a lot more of it to run, and I mean, it's a party fuel, man.
Okay, so what kind of differences in fuel does, like, not fuel, like expense? How much more expensive is it than, like, you say E90 or like pump E85? I will say I'm a cheap fuck. I run pump E85 on my car, and it's like
so it comes down to $4 a gallon if you buy it by the gallon.
That's really not that crazy, actually.
Yeah, and so I buy a whole barrel for, I think it's like $250.
Oh yeah.
How long does that last you?
About 3 events.
Really?
Depending on how, I mean, if I'm doing 20, 30 runs, yeah, a barrel will last me about
20, 30 runs?
Yeah, is it not crazy?
That's pretty crazy for a car that's methanol powered, that's straight axle and that heavy, right? How much? What's it weigh?
That's what I
Like
was thinking.
3,000 pounds, man. That thing's gutted. Dude, it's literally just sheet metal on wheels.
What, you speed hole it? Come on, it weighs more than 30,000
Does it even have
pounds,
glass?
Huh?
No,
there ain't no glass in it.
Oh,
just a Lexan windshield.
There you go.
I mean, I'm doing no
I was
Lexan.
pretty sure some of the pictures I looked at, there's no glass in the rear or anywhere.
Dude, I climbed through the window. I mean, there's nothing in the doors.
Are the doors welded shut?
They're welded shut. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah.
I climbed into the window.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, you know what I hate? The only thing I don't like about the welded door shut thing is, like, I try to read the FD rule book, and I like to follow the FD style stuff, the rules, because that's
pretty proven.
Yeah. One of the rules is you got to have opening doors, and I'll be like, I got a backup plan for it just in case I ever need to run an event with opening doors.
Yeah, it's called a Sawzall.
Yeah, no, I do. I could take one of those doors off in 5-7 minutes of Sawzall. Okay, we got it set up where we're gonna yank them right off. Everything on that car is set up to be yanked right off. When we hit
Are the hinges still in them?
No, they're welded to the quarter panel on the fender. And then we made little brackets inside that connected to the cage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can stand on them.
Dang,
we bracketed
that's
it
impressive.
up. Yeah, I stood on them.
I love you, man.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, man, if I did something cool, I would just stand on my door and go, yeah, I mean.
No, it's just me in my dimly lit garage. That's how I would test something too. I'm like, hey, you can stand on it, motherfucker, solid.
I didn't have to test it. We knew.
Did the car start off as a rolling chassis when you got it, or was it already?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
man.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. So this is not the first car that you guys have built. There's no way.
No.
All right. So give us a little bit of your background in motorsports.
Yeah.
Where did you learn, that stuff?
So I started working at the Hound Room Speedway when I was like 15, 16, whatever, whenever you first could start working legally. And I was running hamburgers and stuff like that, doing the fueling for, running their little fuel thing. So I was there from like age 18, and then I went to do like some small time NASCAR stuff, the ARCA series. Did that for like 6 months or something like that.
You any good?
I was just a mechanic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but hey, it gave me some experience to working on some higher end stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, and so then college started, and then I've just been piddling my own stuff. I built a little F-body Camaro, and I built a truck. Actually, started when I was 16. Still not. I mean, I drive it, but it's not done. Is it ever done?
What is it?
You would be surprised. Some people aren't like that. Some people consider a car finished, and then they're just like, no, it's just maintenance now. They're not like. Because I'm like you. I'm like, it's never done. I drive my car a certain mile an hour, and I notice that the heat doesn't continue to go down. And I'm like, well, I need a scoop on the back of it. Do I really? No. But I want it,
But it's this botched together 1990 truck. And man, I bought this thing. It was like falling apart. And all my friends in high school were like, dude, you need to just scrap this thing. And I'm like, that's not my style.
Yeah. Fuck that.
That's not my style, And so, man, I literally bought a whole frame and just built a truck.
That's
me and my dad.
Impressive.
Yeah. So, man, we've been doing this crazy crap forever. And my dad, I literally ride the coattail of my dad because he's been drag racing when he was my age. Then he went round track racing for 10 years. I don't know how long. And now I got him into drifting. So he's pretty much done it all now at this point.
Dude, your dad's cool as fuck.
I call him Drifted Jeff for a reason. I mean, he can't drift really at all, but I like to call him Drifted Jeff.
Has he taken a swing at it? Has he climbed off in there and gave it a shot?
It's terrifying.
I bet it is.
Where did you try it at? What track was it?
Anytime I broke something, he doesn't really believe me, and so he's got to see it for himself. Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, something's wrong. And I'm like,
yeah,
he don't say.
I told you so. I bet you gave my dad the car for about a month. He'd rip it just as good as me.
Yeah?
He's a killer.
He needs to get him a car.
It'd be a Monte Carlo.
It'd be perfect. You guys could share parts. I'm telling you, dude, that's how we
had more chassis.
Do you plan on staying with this chassis forever?
Why not? Why not? Honestly, why not? I mean, we already figured out how to make it drift. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a drift car. It's not a drift car. It's a car we made drift.
I like the way you said that.
Yeah, it's not a drift car. Who in their right mind goes buys those cars and goes, oh, I'm gonna make a drift car? Oh, wait a minute.
I was gonna say, because then you could just, if you wanted to build something different, you could just pass it off to him. That would be, then boom, he's got the car he wants.
My idea was to buy a Corvette and then give him the Drift Carlo, but dude, that thing's
just falling in love.
It's too cool,
bro. We can get drunk and talk about Corvettes if you want. I love Corvettes. I don't know how many podcasts you've watched, but I love Corvettes.
Oh boy.
I mean, if I was gonna go to a different chassis, it'd be E46 Corvette. I mean, those are just right now, there's a formula. If you want to be successful at drifting, there's a formula.
Why'd you throw the E46 in that class? The same.
I mean, Hurst drives one. Gavin.
I'm just curious. I think they're great for drifting. I'm just curious what you're...
I heard in stock form they're you really got to build them for them to be really good at drifting.
A Vet or an E46?
E46.
So when we talk to Cash says he doesn't really like the way E46s and E36s look.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care.
But he drives one because he said that he went out for his first lap and he radioed back and was like, dude, it's the best car ever, So I assume that it probably rips.
Oh,
I
don't care. I don't care what a car looks like, man. If that thing rips, I want to drive.
I'm kind of like that, but I still think that
monkeys.
I think I still I reserve the right to not think that a car is super good looking. Dude, okay, so the older Audi, the S1000 Quattro, the Pikes Peak car, you know?
Yeah.
It's a very function over form car. It's not a very good looking car, but because it's so aggressive, it's cool looking, right?
Yeah.
That's the same kind of take I have like on BMWs. Like you can build one to make it look super awesome. Like, because if you slam and bag and swap a Volkswagen Doodlebug, it can be cool. I will throw enough money at something.
I don't know how many people would even agree with me on this, but I think BMWs look better as stance cars than they do drift cars or any type of track car.
I can see it. I mean, respect the build,
the
right?
The fitment on BMWs is too good. So as a stance car, they look great. I mean, I think that, well, they look great as drift cars too, I think, but I think
I don't know. I've never, dude, like, so my brother was like the stance guy.
I'm the only one that likes stance cars here.
Josh likes stance
every
cars.
Time.
Dude, I want to get Josh on the podcast because
I'm a half price hot boy.
That's fucking awesome.
I love that.
I want to get Josh on the podcast because I would like to hear, because dude, he, like, even though he's like the quiet type, he has a lot of opinions on stuff like that. Like he, like, you know how like I don't care about wheels, right? And I know that probably a lot of people listening to this think that that's not real. It is real. I get 50% off Kinseys, and I still like.
You just fucked up your own sponsorship.
I was gonna say, man, like getting 50% off.
Retake that. When people tell me that it's like that, like people will comment on the podcast and they'll say like, he's just doing that to get attention for the podcast. Like Dawson will vouch for me. The wheel thing is just not. It's just not like I'm not that guy. I just don't really the status thing about wheels. I just don't get it. Right. So the whole stance scene is like kind of lost on me because I feel like if you're going to build a stance car, you need to have really nice wheels, really nice suspension, and you need to have the side, the fenders on the car come down, and it needs to have stance, right? Good fitment. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. That's how much I don't know about it. But like, dude, but my brother is like a local legend when it comes to stance cars. He's had a bunch of them, and so like it's weird because I'm the guy that has, we do the podcast, and it's like Josh is the one that has all these like really hardcore opinions. Yeah. He's just like, nah, fuck that. You need real wheels. And I'm like, I don't really think you do. Not for what I do. He's like, yeah, you're just fake as fuck. Fuck you. I'm like, why? Why do you think that? Stupid. So yeah, I would love to get Josh on the podcast for that. I think that'd be really a good episode.
Tag him below.
Yeah, tag my brother Josh so that he can come on the podcast and see what it's like to have fucking 10,000 people scrutinize you.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
We'll never get him back out again.
No, he'll never fucking come on the podcast now. Okay, so why the Monte? Was it because it was cheap, or is it because you actually like that chassis, or you know a lot about that chassis, or
just pop up? Or
it goes back to my dad. So his very first car was actually a 73 Monte, and that was the car he took drag race, and then he had another 73 or 77. I can't keep up with all of it. Yeah. Round track racing. So so
he's a Monte guy.
He's a huge Monte guy. He's the reason we run the Monte. And I was Googling. I really didn't know anything about drifting before I started. I really didn't know. Dude, you could ask me if you knew any FD driver names. Couldn't tell you a single one. I literally thought what drifting was you build a car. It didn't really matter what it was. You go to Clarksville, you screw around for, half the day. You go home and wait for the next one next month, man. And then we show up and it's like, oh no, this is a big thing. It goes multi-state. This is a huge thing. And we had to have more, we were like, okay, well, we can't let the people down.
It's like a fucking drug, man.
And but yeah, that's why we went to the Monte Carlo. And when they say when you build a drift car, you want something you know how to work on, parts are accessible, and it's cheap.
No.
Yes.
No.
You don't think so?
No. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
it's a joke.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna clip yourself back? Yeah. I think so.
No.
No, that is exactly that is. We both agree on that.
Give me something expensive, complicated to work on, and that's my sucks.
Right.
You can sacrifice some cool points here and there for some difficulty. It's okay.
So I kind of agree. Like, I think that some stuff you can sacrifice the performance version of something for like the way something works. But like if you talk to some of these people online, like, they have like a following and someone famous follows them or whatever. It's like they they're like, no, like this is the only way to do this, and you can't do it any other way. And it's like, I don't know, it's just crazy to me. It's like, why wouldn't you want more people on your side to go against stuff like the EPA in the state? You know, like they are like, people don't know about this. They are trying to take it from you. Just so you know, they are trying to take it from you. They're trying to make it where you cannot modify streetcars. They are trying to do that.
In my opinion, screw perfection. Who needs anything to be perfect? If it's got dents, got dings. If your angle kit ain't perfect, go out there, get on the track, have fun with your people, you know.
Right. Then go. And then if you can figure out a way that you can affordably go to make something better, then you should do that.
Absolutely.
But these people, I'm telling you, man, it's crazy to me. These people that get online and they just like dog cuss people for, I know. Are you going to make the jump? You going to come over? Come on.
You're interrupting the fuck out of the podcast today.
This is hilarious.
No, she gave up.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's just crazy to me. I don't know. I saw like there was two like bigger guys on the podcast on the clip of Dawson of Kyler talking, and they're like trying to punch down on Kyler, and like, dude, he's so cool. Like, who would hate on Kyler, you know? And like, I had to like get in there and be like, dude, like, why are you punching down on this guy? He built and painted his own car. You can if you watch the actual podcast, you can see he's proud of it. What sparked your interest for drifting? Like, what made you want to, like, did you go with someone to Clarksville and then you were like, dude, I want to try that. I can fucking build that.
Yeah, absolutely. So my buddy, Gabriel Brewer, which he's not really in the drift community, but he had a WS6 Trans Am in college. He still has it, and it's like 1,000 horsepower now. It's ridiculous.
Nice.
But
hell yeah. I love WS6s.
Somebody told him about it, and he's like, hey, man, it's like, you know, this was like 2019 or something. It was like $40 to go. And went up there, rode with him a couple times. I was like, yeah, I could try this. So I had my little F-body Camaro. I took it up there a handful of times. It cute little power slides. It was a little automatic Camaro. It wasn't very good. And so that was actually my first time drifting. But I really don't count it because there was no learning. There was nothing really there. It was just me out there fooling around. So when I brought out the Drift Carlo, that's when I like really considered the start of my drift career, because I actually had a dedicated car I was taking to the track. And, but yeah, if it wasn't for him taking me to the track to Clarksville, I never would have got into it. It took me 3 years to build the car. Like when I saw it, I was like, I want to do this. Because like I said, I thought it was just something you go once a month, you screw around with. And next thing I know, I'm doing a bunch of crazy stuff, like just ridiculous. I mean, from getting a motor built in a month to flying to an event just for nothing. I mean, but it was sure awesome. I love it.
Hell yeah, man.
What was the first like issue you came across when you were building it? That like, since it is such an odd chassis to drift.
The very like chassis wise or engine wise, because I gotta tell you,
Let's run through them both.
A very, very first event, we show up and we flooded the engine and like just hydro locked it, just right off trailer hydro lock. And it was because we took a carburetor, bought it. The guy was like, it's a good carburetor, you know, slap it on there, you know, go have fun. Turns out one of the gaskets in it was just literally making it just flood the engine. Like we turn on the fuel pump because it's actually electric. Pick up the carburetor and you can just see fuel just pouring down the engine.
Just
and
non-existent.
So yeah, we got 2 runs that day and went back home, but it was awesome.
Did it bend a rod or anything?
Not that I'm aware of.
Same setup still in there?
Yeah, same setup, just fixed. Yeah, I mean we're still running a 750.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Still running a 750 Holly carburetor. Like no issues either.
Okay. Well, I've just seen where people will hydrolock an engine and it'll bend rods because the rod comes, or the piston comes back up, contacts. Water doesn't have the same viscosity as air, I guess is what I'm saying. Duh.
It may have, and we just ran it till it died. I mean, that first engine always had blow by, so, you know, there's no telling. I mean, let me tell you, that engine sat in the car for like a year, and we turned it over, and there was no spark plugs in it, just water come pouring out of it. Like, the first engine I had was terrible. I mean, it didn't have a chance in the world. But, man, that thing ran for 10, 15 events until IA, when it was just like it looked like a freaking steam train going by, just all the blow by. And I mean, after every lap, they'd be like checking under my car and everything. Like, is this thing blowing? It was. But hey, I drove it on the trail like that, man.
Fuck yeah.
Shit.
Dude, it's never broke down on me. The only time it did break down on me was I ran out of fuel.
Well, what about the chassis part? Have you ran into any chassis issues?
So for like the first, well, obviously, because it's Monte Carlo, so there's no angle kit. That was the first issue.
What is your angle kit setup?
Yeah.
Yes.
Make sure you tell us.
Yeah.
It's a yes.
Can't brush by that one.
All right, so with the angle kit, we extended the upper and lower control arms 3 inches. We put some drop spindles on there from a Chevelle because you could get Chevelle parts, race parts, like front and back, no problem. There's more like target for autocross, but hey, they're drop shackles
Fuck yeah.
or drop spindles, excuse me.
Don't mess it up. The internet will come
Yeah,
for
oh
you,
my
bro.
gosh. And then we actually made our own steering arms that like brought the tie rod in to where the ball joints pivot, and now we're at like 70 degrees of angle.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if you actually,
That's crazy,
awesome.
dude.
yeah, you look at it, it's
On that big
it's-
bitch.
Yeah,
Dude, you need to send us some pictures. Do you have pictures of this?
yeah, oh
Or is
yeah,
this-
dude, I got pictures of the whole build.
Okay, fuck
Yeah.
yeah. There you go. That's
Yeah.
dude, that's the ticket right there.
I mean, it works. If you took it to any professional shop and they looked at it, any professional drift shop, they'd be like, "What is this trash?" Because I mean, like bump steer, it's terrible. Like man, you jack it up, the wheels go like that. I mean, almost like
Wow.
they're bad. It's real bad.
Is it got a true rack or is it a pitman arm?
It's a Pitman arm. We didn't convert it, man. Gold gearbox.
I don't blame you. I was just asking. Yeah,
Dead
that's
serious.
awesome.
Gearbox style. It works fine. It's not perfect by any means necessary. And is there room for improvement? Absolutely. But why? Why spend the money when it works? You know? I mean, I would love to sit down and engineer some good steering arms that would fix the Ackerman, that would fix the bump steer, and really perfect it. I would love to see that. But, I'm so busy with, right now we're busy with body work and just, fighting the car, keeping it going because, we're running 20 plus laps at each event. So by the time we got 5 events later, something by now is broke or blew an engine, blew a transmission, we blew a rear
Where
end.
is your transmission?
So right now, right this second, we have a Saginaw 3-speed, which is crazy.
So have you met Eric McCoyne?
Oh yeah.
Eric McCoyne has 2 Saginaws that he said he would sell cheap, and they're 4-speeds.
Well, that problem's been solved. I'm actually going to be upgrading to a TKX, and I definitely got to give out a shout out to Eastside Motorsports for helping me out with that. They're local over in Cookeville. And so if I have any problems with it, they're like, bring it to us. Like if you grenade this thing, bring it to us. We're going to fix it.
Okay,
That's
so
awesome. Yeah.
So I'm planning on building a car using one of those, and so is my brother Caleb. So let us know how that works out, because I'd be curious to know.
I mean, it should support, I think, 8,000 RPM and like 650 pounds of torque.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think there's any I don't know that there's any sort of flaws with them. I'm just curious about install, what kind of shit you got to have to make it work. Because I already read the thing. I've read the whole pamphlet. It's like you can shift it at 8,800 RPMs or some crazy shit.
Yeah,
I don't know,
it looks pretty. It looks like a nice unit.
Yeah.
For me, going from a Saginaw straight to a T5, all I got to do is change my floor pan again. Because right now I actually have 2 shifters.
Oh, that's all.
So yeah, well, for mine it's just sheet metal.
No, I know.
So I just cut a piece of sheet metal, weld it back in, and I've already got a shifter boot right there that I just weld on.
My car has a custom trans tunnel, and it was a big
Yeah,
pain
it'd
in
be
the
a
ass
major
for me to
pain.
make. So that's why that's the.
But the bale housing for that is the same from Saginaw to the. I have to change my clutch. The where the splines go in on the clutch,
Sure.
I got to change that, and I have to go to a shorter drive shaft.
You don't have to change it. You can just shorten it.
Yeah, well, I actually have my drive shaft from a T5. Actually, for 10 events, I ran a stock T5 from a V6 Camaro, packed behind a whatever horsepower 350 that is. It lasted 10 events. I paid $200 for the transmission. Lasted 10 events.
Wait, hold on.
He just broke Nate's brain.
You had a stock drive shaft from a different vehicle? How'd you do?
No, transmission. The drive. Well, it's a stock drive shaft too, but it's a steel drive shaft. I had no problems with the drive.
So what'd you do? Bolt the transmission to the motor and then hang it a certain way, and then put the drive shaft in there where it was the right length, and then make your trans?
Yeah. Well, I have 2 different drive shafts. I got a long one. I got a short one. So the short one goes to like TKX and T5, and the long one goes to the Saginaw. Yeah, I have a lot of Monte Carlo parts. That's why we run the Monte Carlo.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, so I have 2 different drive shafts for different transmissions, but yeah, that I'm more mind blown that whatever those are rated for, like what 300 horse, like 300 torque.
Probably not even, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, the saving grace for that was we were running trash tires. Like,
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I could not name any of the tires on the back of my car for well over half my season.
What tires do you run?
Man, I have tried the Kendas, I've tried the Valinos, I've tried the GT Radials, and I have a different opinion on all of them. The Kenda is by far, I like them because they last so long. They're
Best
good.
party tire.
It's a great grassroots tire. The GT Radials, they're the most consistent. The Valino is just the, like, holy grip tire.
Really?
I have heard that. I do.
gosh.
I want to try Valinos really bad.
I tried a set. I didn't really. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a monkey. I didn't. I didn't notice that.
Can you
much.
Can you run those backwards?
I have no
Like
clue.
you can because I would always run my Kendas backwards
Yeah.
to get more grip. But
See, that's
a lot of tires will chunk
This is
if
why
you
I
do
think
that,
people
though.
on the internet fucking hate me because like I did the same thing. I did the Kenda's backwards thing. I didn't really notice too much of a difference.
Oh,
I feel like
did.
heat cycling
Really?
is probably
yeah,
one.
but I was on a stock
that's what I
VQ
think.
too, so that
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
feel a little bit more of the grip with lower power.
I'm not
so.
saying you're wrong. Okay, don't fucking cut this up where I'm like, hey,
you're getting cut up, baby.
I'm just saying, like, I did.
I'm a
that.
half price hot boy.
That one didn't even make sense, but I had.
Dude, wait till Kyler hears that.
Oh, I know.
He's gonna be like, what the
Let's
fuck,
not
dude?
tell him anything.
No, fuck no.
Anything. Just let him
think
find out.
I'm sure his dream is to become a meme anyways.
Dude, he
already is.
He's
Anyways.
he's the fucking best. I love that guy.
He's
Oh,
awesome.
he's fucking awesome.
Dude, like even in the reels, when
There's
we
a
were
couple
shooting
people
him,
that said he was like by far the best.
yeah, he
best
was
guest
like
we've
the
had
best
so far.
personality. It was so funny. Like one of the like, so I'm pretty close friends with Kyler. Like I talk to him all the time, and so like. I always, he's like, what should I do for this LS part or whatever? Like, you know, he'll ask me some like ghetto fix because he's like kind of like me, you know? And so I was just like, dude, just buy a 5.3, don't do anything to it, put a big cam and strong springs in it, and then just go drive.
Totally
and then, huh?
Totally ignored.
Yeah, he completely ignores me and took one completely apart and built a 5.7, and he's just had a bunch of problems with it, which like, that's kind of what happens if you like open one, you like let the magic out almost, if that makes sense. Like you go in there and you start fooling with stuff. And you don't really need that level of commitment, in my opinion, yet, you know? Well, so he comes on the podcast and like, he's like, yeah, but I don't have a 5.3, I have a big bad 5.7. And it's like, it's completely unprompted. It had no script. Like it was just me and Dawson, and like Dawson cuts to me and him, and we're just like, what the fuck, dude? And it doesn't help that was the podcast where everyone thought we were doing drugs because of the dry. Dude, literally the day that Kyler was going to come shoot, we hung this up. And so like you get the drill, you drill into the drywall, and then you put the drill down, and when you put the drill down, the drywall dust comes off the drill, and it gets like, you know what I'm saying, where we put it down multiple times. People thought we were in here doing cocaine. Like,
Hey, it's
like,
a different kind of party around here.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so you guys missed it. We gave him a bunch of drugs. That's how we paid him to say all this crazy shit.
Before we get too deep into that conversation.
I'm sorry. I just thought it was funny, dude. I love Kyler. He's hilarious.
Yeah. But back on your car real quick. With the complications that you've ran into so far, have you been able to drive any other cars to kind of compare how they drive and how it should feel?
I mean, I think, yeah, kind of. So I drove, let's see, the first other car I drove was, it was MJ's at the time, but now it's Andy's police car.
Yeah.
I drove that.
I helped
And
fix that car.
they drive like completely different than my car. Like my car, I feel like drives in the front, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like I'm actually steering more versus
The
a 350Z.
front on a
Like
Z
a
car
very lazy
pushes.
steering or lazy steering.
I feel like a Z car, I'm like sitting down on the ground and it's, you know, you give it throttle and it just kind of points the direction you want to go. You know, they're pretty easy to drive. Like
They are.
I agree.
and that just, it's not my style. I like the
like the
challenge. I like the challenge, man. I mean, you know, it's a hard car to drive. People think it's a hard car to
That's the
drive.
thing. Some people, they enjoy the fight.
I'm telling you, I
driving.
drove Willie Culver's car. It was a bone stock DE car, and all it had was Wise Fab and like you know, handbrake Wise Fab,
Good
fancy
BCs,
tires.
just-
Yeah, it had
This is
expensive.
Perfectly
coil.
set up seat time car.
Yeah, dude, it drove itself. It was not a hard
Yeah.
car to drive, and I was a little scared because it was not my car.
I honestly, I seriously think if I drove a 350Z Corvette, whatever, I wouldn't be sitting here. That's serious. I think that the car is definitely been helpful in kind of getting my name out there and grabbing attention. So, as far as, yes, it's not a great chassis because you can't buy an angle kit for it. Actually, if you want a good chassis, just go look at Wise Fab or FDF. If they make a kit for it, then it's probably a good chassis.
Whichever one shows up in the top of the feed.
But I mean, if you're willing to go through it and work through it, I think it'll pay out. I mean,
there is
a balance there.
I fare on that side. I think if you want to go do something, then go do it. And who gives a fuck what people think? But I'm telling y'all, there is a whole other side of that argument of people that think that, you're
do it one way and it's the only way.
Yeah, you're ruining the culture of drifting because you're using a muscle car to drift. That people act like that, and they act like that about my car, which is an S13, because I have motorsports experience before this. I was like, dude, turbo LS would be perfect. It would be all the yeet. I have a pretty small turbo. I have all the throttle control. That is part of the reason that I was so down to do the podcast, because I was like, dude, I think we could do some real good out there for people who want to get into drifting, Like, you don't have to do it the way that all these people who have, like...
With the way social media is, there's so much room for conversation already, and it's already in a negative manner on social media. So giving a platform like this to where you can have an actual discussion with people with actual opinions. How
many times have you people, like... wanted to respond to somebody who is like punching down on somebody else about, the way they did something, and you go to their profile and they have 20,000 subscribers and some famous person follows them, right? It makes you not want to address that person because you're like, well, his followers are going to agree with him or whatever, And so then up until a couple weeks ago, I was kind of like that. Before I would give my opinion on something, I would go check and make sure that this person is not a super famous person trying to shit on someone. And then we got kind of a more following, and I was like, you know what? I don't care how many followers you have. Like, you can't talk to people like that or say shit like that. And so now it doesn't really matter. And if those, and I wanted to say this all day. It's been fucking bugging me. But part of the thing that makes me annoyed with that is like, dude, if you don't agree with that there's too much negativity in the car industry, then why are we growing so fast? If that industry doesn't have people who want to do it but are too scared because of people like you who are watching this but not subscribed, why?
Still about 50%, baby.
It is about 50%, you fucking ninjas.
Pick it up.
Why are we experiencing the level of growth? So either all of our subscribers hate us, which it's been harder for me to find hateful comments as of lately. Or
let me drop some knowledge real quick. Yeah. Just so you guys understand, social media is played off of value. So as long as you are providing value, which this podcast does, because like you said, the conversation needs to be had. Nobody's out there willing to have it. So with a platform, you are able to, and it actually becomes healthy and not just some bunch of bullshit
not
morons.
An echo chamber.
Yeah. In their mama's basement, typing on some keyboard thinking you're big and bad.
It makes me mad. It really, like, not to get all philosophical, but that really bothers me. Like, that people would like shit on someone trying to do something cool. I think that's I just think that's the lamest, most hater bullshit ever.
I've never received negativity. I've only received hell yeah, brother. I'm telling you. I mean, do I know what somebody's saying in another room? Of course not. But I've never, even at Import Alliance, at freaking Import Meet, I had people coming up to me like, dude, this thing.
Did you watch the Barry Clapp episode?
Oh yeah.
All right. I don't know. Is it in there? Is it in the episode when he's talking about his car?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Okay. So I don't mean necessarily that, because obviously I love it.
Right. He says it's not a drift car. And it's not a drift car. It's a car we made drift.
But that's what I'm saying is that I love Barry. I love you. I don't know if you actually watch these or if you just support us. But honestly, when he said that in the podcast, it made me more annoyed than when he shit on Forsberg. That's how mad it made me. I was like, why don't you just be like, here's what I would make it do, and then just move on from there. So like, I know that he is not somebody that's like that, because obviously now he's one of your bigger supporters.
Right.
But there are other people that are on that side of the argument, and like, That kind of shit is just
Right,
bugs me, bro.
That's fine, man. You know, when I first show up to any outside of event, I call, you know, like first time I showed up at Lanier or Sportsdrome or maybe even Knoxville. Those guys pretty well knew me about then. I pull up and it was back when I had an open trailer, and everybody's like, dude, the dirt race next week, like, are you drifting that? And I'll go out there and I'll rip, and then suddenly everybody's like,
yeah, show them what's up.
holy crap.
Right.
Like, that thing drifts, you know? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's taken a lot of seat time, a lot of hard work. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy. But that's not the point.
Look, if anybody wants to get in one of these old school cars, just hit me up. I will help you with the angle kit. I will tell you how to do it. Am I saying, hey, we all need to go drift old school cars? No.
You don't know how many people you're talking to, right?
Really? Yeah, that's a lot of people, man.
I mean, if you
combine every platform together,
driving car, okay.
it's over 160,000 people. If you combine every single platform.
If you're actively trying to drift an old school car, I don't mind answering your questions, because
there you go.
Well, that leads me into my next question.
Yeah.
Do you see in the future people starting to gravitate towards these oddball builds?
No, and I think this goes back to a conversation me and Wes Cloud have. Me and him talk a ton. That an average person cannot fabricate.
Right.
Can't fabricate like that. Mm-hmm. They can't just cut a lower control arm, extend it 3 inches, and feel like it's safe.
Are your control arms iron?
Yeah.
Did you have to heat them up?
No, I don't know. My dad's the fabricator in this team here.
Okay. All right.
I mean, like, if he tells me to cut this,
here's the welder,
that,
get to work.
Look, man, I've tried.
We had to do that on ours, and they sank it
in.
in sand, and I was just like, I was like, I don't know, man, I can barely weld. You know?
No, they're steel. They are steel.
Okay, steel.
So you can straight up just weld them.
All right.
Yeah, if I could redo my kit, man, it'd be so much better.
Really?
I know more now. You know, I've got more experience. I know.
What would you change exactly?
Probably just the steering arms, really. Just steering arms. Would probably actually extend it 4 inches.
As opposed to
3 inches now.
Okay.
I mean, and I think one of my biggest problems right now is I'm running stock Corvette wheels. So I have to run like a massive spacer because I don't have the correct offset wheels. And quite frankly, it's like, well, they work. Why change it? You know, okay, I got a big old spacer.
Because if you don't have real wheels, then go fuck someone. Well, fuck you.
I mean, I had some old school NASCAR D-ring wheels, and then I smacked a wall at Sportsdrome and bit one, so now I got Corvette wheels.
What are you laughing for? You know I'm not lying.
I know.
That's exactly what they're going to say.
It's going to be never ending.
Look,
I know.
I mean, look, if somebody hit me up and they're like, hey, we're going to hook you up with some wheels, I'll be like, hell yeah, let's go, man. I don't care. I don't care what wheels I got. As long as they're on the track, they're straight, and they drive.
Dude, how does he say it? And it sounds so right, but when I say it, everyone's so mad.
I'm a half price hot boy.
Okay. I mean, I'm working on body work right now. Not me, but me and my dad, we're working on the body right now. So we're trying to make the car look pretty because we're mechanically right now, we're good.
I have noticed it's like yellow in some photos and then black in other photos.
That's dumb.
Huh?
That was dumb.
Well, okay, so what's the deal? What were you doing? Were you trying to make over fenders?
No. So Barry was having this Halloween event, and I wanted to dress up the car. So everybody's like, man, this reminds me of Fast and Furious. You know, the Monte Carlo from Fast and Furious, the yellow one that Sean drives. And so me and my dad were driving home one day, and I'm like, hey, we'll break the internet if we paint it yellow. It didn't work. It did not work at all. In fact, it was the ugliest thing I ever seen in my life. I hated it so much.
That's awesome.
But I was way too lazy, to be honest with you, and too busy going to drift events to paint it back black. We show up to the event, and I'm all excited. I'm like, yeah, we're going to unload this car. And everybody's looking at it like...
Because they don't get it. Fuck? They don't know, like, that's like the lesser known Fast and the Furious car. So, like, people don't know that's the house jump car.
Yeah, they're like...
I get it, because I love that show. Like, that's hilarious.
I was like, what is it? People thought it was a different car.
I bet they did. White roof and fucking yellow quarter panels.
And we loaded it up, man. Me and Dad looked at each other like that was stupid. Should have just followed what Should have just done what Joel and Matt did and just put Dale Earnhardt stickers and Richard Petty stickers on their car. Now they're
Yeah.
They said they got like twice as much media after they did that move, and so they're just keeping it on there. And I think it's so flex.
Well, I mean, honest to God, good for you for putting in the work to try and do that. But that is funny. That's a good story.
didn't pay off.
Appreciate you telling this story.
Dude, those guys too, Joel and Matt, they're a different animal. They drive their car to Clarksville, drift it, and then drive out. If you do that,
Oh yeah, dude. We talk about that all the time.
I know
Those
people-
motherfuckers are animals.
it's such a different breed, man. Like, and you know what? It inspires me. I'm going to do it this year. Why not? I thought about doing it crazy.
Have you ever
though.
thought about taking that thing on Drift Week just for the fuck of it?
I'm sure I'm getting there. Like if I knew about it.
Gotta put some glass in.
Like,
there,
like some of the bigger events I'm looking forward
you?
to is
what?
You don't have to have glass, do you?
You want to drive that motherfucker hours?
I don't even want to drive my
glass?
car an hour. I don't even want to drive
I mean,
more
I
than an
feel-
hour at a time.
think street legal.
I feel that.
Same here. I drive mine all the
it's
time.
If I went on Drift Week, I'd bring the trailer. I wouldn't be fucking driving everywhere. Screw that.
Speaking of Joel and Matt, we actually got together and we took my car downtown with boom tubes. I was parked idling. I never revved up, didn't do a burnout, didn't do anything stupid. Just drove it downtown, Broadway downtown. And I look over and the windows are shaking. And there's this like one manager lady who came out of her hotel and she's like, shut it off. I'm like, I gotta drive. You know? Like, well, I mean, I couldn't hear. Oh, so it was just
She was going, and you were just like,
yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah. Poor people, they're walking on the sidewalk getting the breath of methanol, you know, and they're like, Broadway hits differently. It was an event.
That's why I like my turbo car. It's not that loud.
Yeah, no, it's not.
The boom tubes,
loud.
man, that's a whole.
Oh, I wanted boom
That's a
tubes when my
whole
car was in
character.
A for so bad, dude. I wanted them so bad. I just think they sound so cool.
I've
fucking NASCAR.
had 2 or 3 complaints over NSS whenever like I pull into the garage and they're just loud because they're just echoing through the whole garage. It's ridiculous, to be honest with you.
Dude, I live for stuff like that. I wish someone would complain about how loud my race car is.
I thought it was entertaining personally. I was like, yeah. I was like, until Barry or the host tells me like, hey, you gotta quiet down a little bit, which I got to plan for that. I got to plan for everything.
Attaboy.
Yeah,
All right. You guys want to do the reviews now?
sure.
Yeah.
So Des Drifts responded to our story, and because someone insulted me one time and called me a fat boomer, which is pretty funny. So now I just call myself that whenever I post on the story. And he was like, "Are you though?" And so in the middle of the podcast, I sent a picture, and he said, "Probably not fat, but I'm 24 and 220, so I guess he's a big boy." I just thought that was funny. That was a pretty funny story. That made me laugh.
A little bonus treat in there.
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
I'm not that fat. I just keep trying to tell everybody I'm not that fat.
Camera adds 10 pounds.
Is
Right?
that true?
That's what I've always heard. I don't think that's a real thing
I think
anymore
you
with
can
how
just always
good cameras
focus and
are.
stuff, you know? I'm
Anyways.
exactly as fat as I look.
A little bit more pixelated too.
That's perfect. All right. What's the backstory on this guy? It's clean. Sylvia front.
So, hold on. It's a SR20. It's got a Link ECU, 2871R, Disco Potato, and it made 320 horsepower, 320 torque. Very cool. Very cool
Brakes,
car.
baby.
Yeah, and it's
Gotta
a very,
love it.
very attractive automobile. It's
Looks
very
like it's
cool
got a
looking.
326 power wing on the back as well.
They're so cool.
Underglow. Hell yeah. What do you rate it?
I'm going to give that one a fucking 8. That's a sweet rig.
I'm definitely giving this one a 9, especially because it's an SR and it's got brakes.
I'm going with the 9 also. I like that. It's got the underglow. I like white drift cars. Like I think they're clean.
I'm a half price hot boy.
That ain't half price. All right.
What's the next name?
What the fuck?
Oh, we got something American in here, man. I'm not too
tri-spokes.
good with my imports.
So here's...
I'm not gonna lie, I dig the tri-spokes.
I knew you'd like the tri-spokes, and I like the color. It's like that rose gold color. My girlfriend has a watch that same color. I'm just kidding. And she does, but I was only poking at you. All right, so...
93 Impreza.
It's a 93 Impreza. He's got the tri-spokes on it. he gave me a rundown. Oh, here we go. TN coilovers, custom paint, JDM V3 front bumper, that's the one that everybody's cutting up to add to cars now, which is cool. I think that's cool. WRX hood, 2-piece Rays C Ultras. Ooh, so those are the real deal.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. I didn't know they were real. Extra cool points, just because people think that I don't like real wheels.
He's got a picture of this drifting.
This is a weird color too.
No, it's not a drift car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an Impreza.
All right, so he is literally, and this is what it says, literally in the middle of doing a 2005 WRX swap with a 2002 WRX RA transmission.
Oh, sick.
I don't know if I don't know. If
I'm not a big. I don't know exactly what that
that
is, but I don't know. It's cool. I'm not a big Subaru guy. What do you give it then?
I'd probably give that car a 6.5.
I'll give it a 5.5. Just because I'm not a Subaru guy.
I feel like if it had like a badass wing on it, it'd be like a solid 7. But I'm gonna have to go with like 6.5, I guess.
6.5.
So you're a 6.5. You're a 5.5.
5.5.
Yeah. I gave it a 7 because I love you.
You got to make sure you like you.
All right. So this is Nathan, that skinny white kid. Okay. That skinny white kid on Instagram.
I thought you were talking about him for a second. Okay.
I'm not skinny. I'm fat. Haven't you talked to our audience?
Fat boomer.
I'm fucking tired of this bullshit.
It's S13 Wise Crap V1. So Wisefab built LQ4 from Summit, RTS Dogbox, Quick Change, Holly
car.
Terminator. Oh wow, that's some really clean interior, actually.
Dude, he's got the thing.
Is that a fucking Kirkley?
It is.
That's
Kirkley.
Ultra Shield.
It is.
Or is it? What is it?
Well, it says Ultra Shield on it, but yeah, I mean, it's essentially it's a round track seat essentially, which I absolutely love because I got round track seats in my car.
There's not really a picture of the
Man, that thing is a bad car right there, man. Dog box, quick change, and
Where's your engine bay?
that's a bad car.
What is that? What's on top of the radiator? What is that?
That's a good question. It looks like a sticker or something, probably.
Yeah,
Maybe a melted sticker.
Yeah.
I bet that's the packing vinyl or something like that. You know,
The only,
I don't know what that is.
dude, that's a sick ass seat time car. It
The
looks
intake.
to me. Look at
the intake.
Yeah, a lot of pie cuts. It's cool. I'm like, I've seen so many pie cuts. I don't know. It's cool. It's cool. I'm not saying it's not cool. I've just seen a bunch of them. I want to look at the little plastic thing that's hanging over the wheel to the left. The overflow
tank?
canister.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What about? Yeah. It's there.
Dude, I like how he put because I'm trying to build a rally car super cheap, so I like looking at S13s. Yeah, that's cool as fuck. That's a 7.5. I like that car.
Yeah. I don't like how the body is all.
What's that handbrake?
And
What's
I
that
can't
handbrake
see the.
look like?
What'd you say? Your car is the same way. It's black speckled.
What's that? That's interesting looking.
Yeah, my car's painted.
What is his?
It's not.
Is it not?
No.
What's your?
That's all fucking rust spots and paint chips and.
Oh, you don't know.
Not rust spots.
It might
It's
be
probably-
rubber.
Yeah, I mean it's not nothing crazy.
Dude,
but
if I had that drivetrain, yeah, I'd be
I
doing
love
tandems
the
close enough to have
interior.
rubber on my headlights.
the interior is mint. That shit looks.
Yeah, very
good.
cool looking. I like the interior.
handbrake's pretty
I like
cool.
the raised shifter piece. That's cool as
I gotta
fuck.
say, I'm kind of disappointed to see a stock
Wait,
seat
wait.
in the fast.
Wait. What is that? Oh, that's the. Oh, okay. I see. There's a rod. All right. I was like, what is that?
But
His handbrake is the rod style. There, I'm guessing there's
oh
a
yeah,
master back there.
it's the remote.
Yeah, it's
remote
pretty-
mount.
yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
that's cool.
got
Besides
it?
the fact that your seat is about as comfortable as going to see your ex-girlfriend and get your stuff back, I'd say that's a pretty solid rig. I
You
like
got
that.
you talking
That was
about
a
the
great
round
way
track
to put
seat there?
that.
Huh?
That's a great way to put that.
You talking about the driver's seat, right? Because the stock passenger seats kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But man, I gotta tell you, those round track seats are super comfortable. Dude, the foam on them is like that thick, man.
There ain't no foam.
Well, yeah, because you put it inside, man. You take it, you unbutton it, take it inside, and then when you're ready to use the car, you put it in. You don't leave it in the car.
Is that true?
Yeah,
the
dude,
fuck?
mine buttons it. I take mine out after every event.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know, but I saw it. He
spit all over myself. I don't know what the hell happened
Really?
there, but
Oh, dude, my seats are super comfortable. Like, if you looked at them when I'm like not at an event, they're just bare metal. And I mean, I'll sit in them like that if I'm moving the car or something. But yeah, dude, they are super comfortable. Like, I really recommend
I honestly didn't
round
know
track
that.
seats in a
I
dirt
didn't know
car.
that
I
either.
didn't know that at all.
Well, no,
How do they pop? Are they pop in? They got like
Yeah,
a little
little
like
button.
jean button type deal.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's actually kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
All
it's-
right. Well, let us know that we reviewed your car. That it has.
We ain't reviewed it yet. No, I was about to ask what you give it.
I would say a 7, unless if it actually has little pop button seat bolsters that go in there that you remove every time you drive it. Then I'll give it a 7.5 because that's pretty wild. I didn't know that.
I'll give it a 6.
Dude,
It's good. I love the interior, but
I love the drivetrain.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
I'm hurting myself because I can't see the full car.
he doesn't have boost, but as much money as he's got in the rest of it, it's probably coming.
What is the dash? What kind of dash is that?
Looks like one of those.
Looks like just a normal S13 dash.
Yeah, it's just not cracked up.
No, why
It
is
looks like it's been
why is it
redone.
two-tone?
I think that's just the shadow.
windshield,
It's
yeah.
just shadow and
Because you can see the reflection of the words.
banner. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right.
Maybe it was half.
Man,
flop or
I
something.
was gonna be right
build, buddy.
at a 9, but then I
Alright.
saw a stock seat, so I'm gonna go 8.5.
Okay.
All right. Redneck_tuner.
These guys are the shit, bro.
So
they
just to
comment
give you a
all the
little
time.
glimpse of the car first.
Dude, look, he got them TE37s,
pretty-
baby.
Yeah.
Dude, someone sent me a thing. Someone sent a thing into the podcast saying that someone posted a set of those wheels and they named them TE37s.
Fuck yes.
That's hilarious.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
for
I'm going to
that.
put it in the thing because I was like, everyone gave me a hard time and said I didn't make that up. And like, if you actually watch the whole podcast, you would know.
Oh, you didn't even tell him Cletus coined your saying.
I don't know if he did. Like, it's not something. A lot of my jokes I've read somewhere, and I'm like, dude, that'd be a funny saying to say, and then I'll say it out loud.
That's fair.
So I don't want to say that he like watched the podcast. And like, I want to say what that
Yeah.
guy's. You know.
It blows my mind. You put uncracked dash as a 240 flex,
Dude, S13. That's like, listen.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I don't want the internet to come for you, so let me just explain to you. Dodge owners and S13 owners.
No, I get it.
Uncracked dash, it's a real flex. It's a real thing.
Yeah, no,
that is true.
I get it. I just it's just weird to see it as a like a mod list more or less. I mean, I can't talk crap, man. I got a sheet metal dash, which goes back to how good my car is. I literally don't even have a handmade dash.
Wait until like someone makes you mad and you throw it in a fire pit. They really get mad. It's pretty funny.
All right. So what the fuck?
I read that wrong
What
too.
the hell? I don't know.
That shit was even junk, bro. None of
I
the
know.
plastic clips work. They got so mad about that. Like, you're not a real S13 guy. I'm like, well, I bet I own more than you do, you piece of shit.
I used to
Oh,
own
yeah.
more, but I threw it in the fire.
Yeah.
Ding ding ding. So cookie tail light conversion, uncracked dash, rota grids, Teehee reps, HKS pattern, hot boy interior accents, love that. Pair of Bride Lomax bucket seats, those are
Lomax.
fucking amazing.
Yeah, those are 6 seats.
Raceland coilovers, okay. Megan Racing strut tower brace, eBay exhaust, basically straight piped. Mad Mike sign, 239 over 300
Signed.
blue camo steering wheel. Wow.
I thought that was
Flex.
a can.
That's fucking cool, dude. A bunch of other streetcar features or cosmetic bullshit, blah, blah, blah. So this is just one car.
I think it's pretty clean.
Look,
though.
and his beard connects. We're good, dude. It's a fucking 9 car all day.
I'm so jealous.
He looks like Stefan, kind of.
He does kind of look like that.
What? That's a proud guy. That's a proud car guy.
That one
pose
hasn't
right
even
there.
come out yet. Well, I guess now it
yeah.
has, but
Yeah, by now it'll be out.
yeah. That's a good little. What was in it? What did he say was in it?
Oh.
It's probably a KA car, I would assume.
I didn't know those things came with windshield wipers on the back.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I think was it all of them.
I don't think all of them.
I'd never paid attention that close, to be honest.
I never. Me either. I always
Right.
thought the coupes were cooler, and now everybody online says the hatches are cooler. But then the highest, I don't know if you guys know this, the highest comment on the thread about cookies versus hatches, the guy said it took me a week to realize that I actually meant coupes. and it has like 28 likes.
Oh shit,
dude, which is so funny. Like he's like, dude, way to fumble the bag on that one. You know,
for real.
I've been arguing this for weeks, and I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, pretty funny.
That's awesome.
I like that car. I think that car is like a 6.
6. I'll give it a 7.
What's that? What's the picture below it look like?
I wish I knew it
the
was
back
in
picture?
it.
It's got kooky
It's just the
conversion
rear of
tail
it.
lights. It's got a fancy signed Mad Mike steering
I like
wheel.
all the good.
Yeah, it's got
parts
a lot
on
of
it, the
nice parts on
HKS
it for a
stuff.
street car.
So wait, you said you gave it a what?
I think I said 6.
6, 7?
I like 6. I like 6. Clean.
Cool. Hell yeah. Good little seat time. There we go.
All right, dude.
Mini truck
all right.
gang.
Dude.
Heck yeah, American.
All right, dude. This
is
car,
cool.
this truck has custom wheels. It's LS swapped. It's like,
Old _ buck.
yeah,
You brother.
You say it was LS swapped?
it's LS swapped. It's very,
Is it?
it's a very cool car. He uses it to autocross. It's
yeah.
very cool,
Oh,
There you
look at
go. Still got the truck intake.
dude. Fuck that. It has AC.
that. Dude, yeah, that was I was like,
That's awesome.
no, wait, go back. Does not have AC.
Right there.
Where's the lines? It's plugged
Why would it be plugged?
because it don't have AC.
Maybe this is an old picture.
Yeah, I mean, you see the lines over there, so maybe.
Why would you leave the AC on then, or why would you even put it in there? Just
I mean, need a pulley.
no, you don't.
I'm sure it's got AC now. I'm sure that was before he hooked up the AC. I was just talking trash. Sorry,
Dude, you know what we should do? We should start calling subscribers. You don't think so? Like, hey man, your patina blue pickup trucks, it got AC? Yeah? All right,
We're
good.
gonna have
That's what I want to know.
Click.
Yeah, good. Just hang up on them. They would be mad as fuck. That'd be so funny.
Oh, all right.
What do you think, guys? You
What do
think I
you
should
give it?
give you a call during the podcast to make Dawson have to edit way more, or
Oh no.
just leave it alone?
Leave it alone.
I think
please.
I think that car is cool. I think that's like an 8. That's pretty cool. I like that car.
I'll go with the 8 on that one.
I wish I knew what transmission
The
was.
dish,
Is this manual?
the
I
wheels
think
on
he
it are
told
hard
me.
as fuck.
I'd have to look. I think he told me what wheels he had. To be honest, I just can't remember. They're custom though. I know they're custom. Like he got them built to fit the side of the car because he autocrosses it.
I'm gonna go 7. If it's manual, it's 8.
It's a manual car.
It's manual.
It's a
Okay,
manual
I'll go
car.
8.
Fucking sweet. Hell yeah. Oh, that was it. I guess so. Same question we always give everybody. What's the one piece of advice you'd give to anybody getting into drifting?
Heartfelt. Give it like the
Give it
fake
some
tear.
thought. Don't
Yeah.
give me some horse shit.
Just don't care what they say. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody's ever been mean to me in drifting. The community is amazing. Just get your seat time and just keep going. If you break something, fix it. Just go back. Just don't give up. Unless it's financial wise, and I can understand where you're coming from, but
Gotcha, bitch.
do as much as you can. Do as much as you can. Be a part of the community. Even if your car's down, go take ride-alongs. You
Yeah.
know, I think a lot of people should be more encouraged to ask for ride-alongs. Like
Yeah?
I don't see any problem. People coming up to me and
I
asking
don't
for a
think
ride-along.
people have an issue with that.
It gets a little overwhelming sometimes because
Sometimes.
like I know at NSS there, I just need to start bringing a whiteboard. Write your name down. You're next.
Yeah.
Pick one of those
It
ticket
gets like
machines.
that.
Go grab a number.
Yeah. Up, you're number 10. You want a free shirt. 10 right away. 10 right along of the day. Just do it. Just get out there and do it. Build a car. It don't have to be perfect. It don't matter if you got the expensive parts, you got cheap parts on there. Go out there and do it. If you're good, you're bad. And if you're good, you're good. If you're bad, you're bad. You'll learn one way or the other.
I like that.
There's
Hell
There's
yeah.
your reel right there. Make everybody mad. You don't have to have super crazy style to go out there and try and get into drifting.
Oh yeah.
You can learn that shit later.
Before we get out of here, check out the new merch. It's the half price hot boy. Thanks to Kyler.
I'm a half price hot boy.
So go check it out at CIRCLEOFDRIFT.com. But that is it for this one, guys. I really appreciate it, especially this little guy right here. Actually, let me open it up. You guys got to see this one before we get out of here. Oh, shit.
Do you want to know how we made this?
This shirt
texted me.
took me so fucking long to make.
Me, and he said, I need 14 insults. And I was like, what? He said, yeah, I need you to give me 14 insults off the top of the head. And this is what I came up with. Athletes flew with no talent. That's so dumb, dude.
Holy shit, you're one stubborn idiot. web-toed frog face weirdo.
That's
Cheese
just one of
whiz
those.
between the ears.
That's just one of those where people start staring at you.
Yeah,
You're like, "What are you staring at?" And you're like,
But
"I'm reading your shirt."
The thing about this shirt is the idea is like people that gatekeep the community is so annoying. It's like, dude, just like encourage people in the car community to do better. And so like someone who gatekeeps and is like, oh, you shouldn't go out there unless you have these parts and this and that and whatever.
I don't think there's any gatekeeping and drifting.
I think you're.
I'm wrong?
I think you're way wrong. I think you're way wrong.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah.
As fuck.
There is a lot of gatekeeping and drifting. It might not happen at your level, but when you get up to where like we're like talking to these big people, like they hate it. They hate that we just want to grow drifting. We don't care who comes. We just want people to get into drifting so that the sport grows. They want it to grow, but they don't want it to change. It's really strange. And like we always like, you don't know this, but we like whenever we're done here, like we go outside and like hang out and talk and stuff. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in seeing that because, quite frankly, it just doesn't sound like a great mentality.
I agree, which is why we made a shirt.
Yes, sir. But anyways, that's it for this one, guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, drop a comment, tell us how we did. But that's it. See you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
I'm a half price hot boy.
I had to throw that in there at the end.
We'll have to like go through that part, but I want to show you what I'm talking about.